the frilled unity or perceived unity that Nigeria has. But it's very important on the kind of things that we write and respond to on social media. So let me start off with this. This young man, it's not necessarily like any form of promotion. He's I Show Speed, very young boy, I think 21 years old, and this is the digital age. So there are a lot of people now who do streaming. There's a lot of content on social media, several platforms. I don't even know. There's Twitch, there's streamers. I don't even know the platforms that he used to do all this stuff, but the guy has a lot of subscriptions. In fact, when he came to Nigeria, he got about 50 million subscribers in just about 24 hours, or a little bit more than 24 hours. He clicked at 50 million subscribers. Now, he came to Lagos. I think that was the first date he landed on, and he's been showcasing all the events that he attended in Lagos and different venues. If you see the young man, he's restless. He's somebody that doesn't know how to stand in one place, but there were certain things that were observed in some of the streaming videos that he brought in. These are part of the entertainment anyway. Show real life activities in your exploration. You will call him an explorer, and it's kind of good. An explorer, very beautiful. It's not just Nigeria he's been to. He's been to South Africa. He's been to quite a number of unique countries, basically. And one thing he's doing is showcasing lifestyle events of these countries, whereby even you who do not know about some existence of some African nations may be like, wow, I think I would try to visit this area based on the locations that he shows on his stream and the interaction he has with a couple of the locals in that particular country. And that is one of the values this kind of exploration brings to a nation as a whole. Now, we saw a couple of content that this man, put out there that brought the question to what exactly is going on. We saw some young boys asking the guy to show love or woda, all of that. These are normal things that we normally do in Lagos, but it's not a good attribute. Even from the airport, you see the airport officials asking you in a subtle way to drop something and all. And then another thing on social media right now is the ability to identify with any of the tribes. It's almost like there's this competition. I really don't know how to define it. I saw another clip where I think he went to visit a store, something, and he wanted to purchase some clothing, and the lady was asking, oh, we'll give you a Yoruba name, I'm sure your ancestral line is along the Yoruba whatever. And then the man said, okay, what if I'm Igbo? And it's actually surprising. Like I said, you'll be so shocked as to the information these people gather on social media about the countries that they intend to visit. The way he even pronounced the Igbo is shocking, because some persons call it Igbo, IBO, and it's called Igbo. So he called it Igbo. So it will tell you that they gather information, snippets of information about the countries they're going to visit, the peculiarities about the country, so that they can integrate properly with the people they're coming to visit. And then, the next thing, it became a conversation on social media. Oh, look at how these people are begging. You need to be careful with the kind of things you put out there on social media. The man he's a young boy, came to visit, and he enjoyed himself. He was able to transmit Nigeria's peculiar culture, our tribe, our events, and a lot of things that is all about our lifestyle. What am I trying to say? The things you put out on social media determines and explains, gives a perception, and perception is very vital. Perception is very important. You don't even know. Perception is very important. What you put out there, the things you say about your country, actually gives people the impression of what your country is like. Every day you hold spaces, you say all whatnot, you polarize yourself, you hurl insults at each other. And I don't understand. It's even worse. You enter international spaces denigrating yourself, calling yourselves out. It's very embarrassing. We already know how the country is. It's quite unfortunate that we have a leadership that is not conscious about the identity of its country and promotes unhealthy relationships amongst its people, all because of promoting a political agenda. You would have expected the National Orientation Agency to be active in trying to correct these anomalies. You would think all this thing ends on social media. It doesn't. I am telling you the truth. It affects businesses. It affects relationship in real time. What am I trying to say? Any opportunity that somebody is available to promote Nigeria as a whole, as a peculiar country, even though we know already that we're hanging on a thread, let's try as possible to project Nigeria in a positive light. You guys on social media all the time hodl yourselves and call yourselves names. The politicians are eating and whining and dining, making themselves enriched. When it comes to political truces, they don't care that you're Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa. No, they all have their own interests. So why divide yourself? Why hurt yourself for politicians? And some people that do this are collecting crumbs from the government. So please, I beg us, let's be careful of how we project our country out there. Okay, so again, let's go back to basically what we do here. We try as much as possible to promote harmony and try to, let's heal ourselves. The nation needs healing. Let's heal ourselves. So based on what Status Sense released, I think today for the month of October 2024 to September 2025, Nigeria accounted for 72% of global Christian killings. 72% out of 195 countries across the globe, like 195 countries for global Christian killings. Based on what Status Sense released, Nigeria's killings is it's 70%. Okay, so it means that global distribution of killings, the killing now don't become like rice that they are sharing. Okay, for Nigeria, 3,490, which is 71.9% across the globe, while the rest of the world accounts for 1,359. Meaning that in pockets of countries, like in several countries combined together, it's 1,359. In Nigeria, 3,490. Oh my God. We really need to do a population census. So I don't think we're as populated as we think. So on average, a Christian was killed for their faith in Nigeria for every 2.5 hours every day. That's what it means. For every standard work day, another 3 to 4 people are added to this list. That's what Status Sense is actually. Check it out. It's not a whatever. Nigeria accounting for 72% of global Christian killings from October 2024 to September 2025. So for every standard work day, another 3 to 4 people were added to the list. And already you know that based on rankings, Nigeria is number 1 worst place to live. This report came out, I think, in December. This is very, very important. Again, like I said, governance encompasses all. I don't understand why everybody is just into politics. Who will win election? Who will not win election? It's not funny. Okay, it's not funny. Something needs to be done about this as soon as possible. Very, very important. Very, very important. Meanwhile, Atiku Abubakar is coming out to blast the Senate. For him, he accused the Senate of deliberately frustrating efforts to amend the Electoral Act 2022, warning that failure to reform the law could fatally undermine the credibility of the 2027 general elections. And this was in a post he shared on his X account this morning. He described the 2023 general elections as a major setback, blaming loopholes in the Electoral Act of 2022 for enabling what he called brazen electoral rigging and making it nearly impossible for petitioners to successfully prosecute election cases in court. According to him, meaningful reform of the legal framework governing elections is the only way to prevent a repeat of the flaws witnessed in 2023. So he says it is imperative that the mistakes of 2023 are not repeated, but that as things stand, it has become obvious that the Senate is determined to frustrate the passage of amendments to the 2022 Electoral Act. He also referenced a recent investigative report by the Foundation of Investigative Journalism, describing it as both an indictment of the Senate and a call for urgent legislative responsibility. The credibility of the 2027 general elections hinges on the urgency with which the Senate treats this crucial bill. All right, very interesting to note that we'll be looking into that today. Meanwhile, for the All Progressives Congress, what's his name, El Rufai, is saying that members in the APC are never accused of corruption. He stated that none of them are ever held for accountability, and that this perception that members of the APC are rarely accused of corruption must be urgently addressed. You know that Malami is currently going through his ordeal in court, and obviously it's not surprising that this is coming up. Nigerians are asking questions. What about all the individuals in the APC who have court cases to respond to, especially EFCC investigation? Why is it that their own cases are kept in the lead? And you even have some of them having to campaign to come back to the Senate, persons who have active cases, with them. So why is the APC covering up these individuals? So he's saying that Nigeria suffers from governance without accountability, noting that reforms have focused more on processes than outcomes. That's what El Rufai is actually saying. Meanwhile, DSS tendered Tinubu's Brazil speech video in Shore's cyber stalking trial today in court because Shore called the president a criminal, and they presented evidence, all his postings on X where he abused and called the president all forms of names, and even the president's speech where he said that corruption is no longer in Nigeria as a whole. But while that particular video was being played, the people in court actually erupted in laughter. They were all laughing because the whole thing seems kind of, I don't know precisely why they were laughing, but that was one of the things they did. So again, like I said, these are interesting times. You would say Nigeria is an interesting country, right? And everything you find yourself in here, you need to find some means through which you can laugh through them. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is not relenting. In Davos, it's quite expected that Donald Trump would have spoken about the Christian killings in Nigeria. Let's take a brief listen to him while he was disclosing that in Davos, whereby he said that he would no longer tolerate the killings in Nigeria and something needs to be done about it as soon as possible. But that the US is actually working hard, and they've been hitting the terrorists very hard.
And in Nigeria, we're annihilating terrorists who are killing Christians. We've hit them very hard. They've killed thousands and thousands of Christians. What's that all about? And in Nigeria, we're annihilating terrorists who are killing Christians. We've hit them very hard. They've killed thousands and thousands of Christians. What's that all about?
All right, so you do know very well that he spoke broadly on security challenges and the U.S. sanctions against militant groups in Nigeria. Trump made that assertion earlier today. He claimed that terrorists are responsible for the thousands of Christians being killed in Nigeria and that they're being forcefully confronted, declaring that his administration has hit them very hard. Trump, you recall, last year criticized Nigerian government over what he described about the particular concentrated killings on Christians in Nigeria. Now, while he was speaking on a conservative radio program, he remarked that Trump claimed that thousands of Christians were being killed and accused the government of failing to curb extremist violence. The U.S. president reiterated his administration's earlier designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern over alleged religious persecution, saying Washington might take further action if the situation does not improve. He went ahead to say that Nigeria is a disgrace. The whole thing is a disgrace. They are killing people by the thousands. It's a genocide, and I'm really angry about it. That the U.S. could cut off aid to Nigeria, citing American financial support to the country. We give a lot of subsidies to Nigeria. We're going to end up stopping it if something about the Christian killings in Nigeria do not stop. He also repeated his threat of possible military intervention against Islamist groups if the Nigerian government does not do more to protect Christian communities. And you know what happened on December 25, 2025, where there was a powerful and deadly strike against militants linked to Islamic State group in Sokoto. So again, we are hearing more updates about that. Meanwhile, the Nigerian government is having a conversation basically with the US, and details of that meeting emerged today. So because Nigeria has been designated as a country of particular concern, the US has been trying to see the Nigerian government along with the US, they're trying to see how they can have a dialogue and see how things will abate so that Nigeria will be off that list. Because if you're a country a particular concern, there's restriction on your visa, there's a lot of concentration on some officials who want to travel to the US, and the Nigerian government is working hard to ensure that Nigeria is out of that list. As it stands now, the meeting between the US and Nigeria emerged basically today, where the Nigerian government had its first session of the US-Nigeria Joint Working Group, which was held in Abuja today. The group was set up after Trump designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, and the working group aims to reduce violence against vulnerable groups in Nigeria, particularly Christians, to create a conducive atmosphere for all Nigerians to freely practice their faith unimpeded by these terrorists, separatists, bandits, and criminal militias. Meanwhile, in Kaduna State, the community leader there said they saw the terrorists along with the abductees, working along the routes where maybe they were taking them to another camp or whatever. And they have told the Nigerian government that the only way those abductees can be released is if they are able to give them back their motorcycles that they seized. That's the only way they can guarantee their freedom. I don't know if there's anything else that will be added in terms of their negotiation, but right now they are using those people as collateral damage. They're going to use those people for shelter so they can move around. But in the interim, we don't know what would happen. This may compel the Nigerian security agencies not to throw ammunition at them, especially via the air, right? Because they need to protect the lives of those individuals that were kidnapped. So right now they're using those guys as a shield of cover to move around or to escape. So I don't know, this puts the Nigerian government in a fix, especially as security agencies, on the kind of strategy to apply to ensure that they secure the release of these guys without anyone being harmed. So maybe there's a tendency that they will have to give the motorcycles to these terrorists. Okay, like I said, these are interesting times. Meanwhile, we're going to speak on the situation where Baba Ahmed made a statement lately. Before that statement, Netanyahu, the APC chairman, said that anybody who wants to be given an appointment within the administration of the APC needs to be a politician. You need to be a card-carrying member of the party. In other words, you would not be given any position to be in charge in anything if you're not a card-carrying member of the APC. So in other words, we're going to be seeing more of politicians being given sensitive positions in government. If you want to be a chief of defense staff or army staff or whatever, you must be an APC card-carrying member. I don't know what that portends, but a lot of Nigerians have said that's a very dangerous perspective to having to handle things that has to do with Nigeria, especially considering the fact that technocrats are needed and they should not have any form of party affiliation if they want to be unbiased and carrying out their duty. So what is the APC trying to say? Well, let's take a listen to him when he was making this statement lately.
Very useful discussion.
As a party chairman, I will stand strong to defend the position that if you're not prepared to join us, you shouldn't be given an appointment. We encourage and support the members of political party to be in position. If you are a technocrat, go and be a consultant. But not taking political appointment and not going back to support the party that brought you to power. If all of us decide to be, if all the appointees decide to become technocrats, the party will never return back to power. All other appointees of government, they always look back, refresh their minds, look from where we're coming from, what brought us here. It is the votes. There's no word called technocrats. They are all political appointees. There's no single word called technocrats. I'm a professor. I was a consultant to several international bodies, but I never came on the basis of the fact that I'm a technocrat. Everybody's technocrat. Everybody who is schooled is a technocrat. There's no single person who is not a technocrat. But once you are given a political appointment, you are a politician. Simple and short. 2% of the total registered members of the APC. But we will not give up as North Central. So far, you have the largest number. And the good news also is that out of the people that registered in the Northwest, 48% of them are people within the age of 18 and 35. At the national level, we have, the average is 47%. But in the Northwest has the highest number of young people who are registered as members of the APC, making 48% in terms of numbers. it means the young people own this party. Because people within the age of 18 and 49, they form roughly about 83% of the registered members of the party. All those of us who are 50 years and above, we just form 17%. Now, I think that you've joined us now.
All right, that's the APC national chairman speaking there, literally corroborating that based on the e-registration they had majority of young people who registered, and that the party belongs to young people now. In other words, there is no excuse for you to say you cannot be part of the system. And those who are complaining that it's the old people that have been taking and making decisions, now the APC is more saturated with the young person. So they're making a step in the right direction. Concerning the situation about technocrats and you having to become a card-carrying member of the APC, let's listen to Baba Ahmed's reaction to that.
What he's suggesting, if you are going to come into our party, you have to have a party card, you have to show levels of loyalty consistent with our need. How do you run a country made up entirely of politicians? And even more worrying, now we understand why the APC is so desperate to gobble up and eat up every politician. They think that if they corner all the politicians on their corner, on their side, they will win this election in 2027, and they're making a terrible strategic mistake. You can pocket every politician in this country and still lose an election because they are not performing well. Regarding Shettima, I have to say this for a minute. Kashim Shettima is an excellent Nigerian. One of the most intelligent people I knew and worked with. Loyal beyond questioning. He is a victim of geopolitics. There are people who think the Muslim ticket needs to be replaced. You need to go for a second term with a Muslim Christian candidate so that you can now bring on board the Christian element. And they keep missing the point. Actually, the truth was that the Muslim ticket has not worked for the Muslims. On the contrary, it has assuaged the concerns of the non-Muslims who thought, oh my God, if we have two presidents, a vice president and a president praying 5 times a day, we are in trouble. Christians are in trouble in this country. They are not in trouble. They were not put in trouble. And on the contrary, they got many concessions that the Muslims in this country didn't get, largely because there was really no substantial difference between having a running mate who's a vice president. He was marginalized. He has been made virtually redundant by President Tinubu. I don't know whether it is because he's a Muslim or whether they have issues, but I think they are not utilizing an excellent vice president in the manner they should. They have massive problems in the north. What they need to do, really, is to use people like Shettima to say, help us to fix the north. But then
all right. Obviously, while he talked about the fact that the APC keeps using politicians to do something that will definitely not, they do not have the capacity to deliver, and then you are having a lot of the policies fail in several fronts. He's also saying that the president is not utilizing Kashim Shettima well enough, and that his office is basically redundant. You don't even hear the man being active, and he's also insisting that the North has not profited anything from this government. For Kashim Shettima, who is from the North, he ought to have been utilized to ensure that proper development comes to the North, educational capabilities available to the North. But last year, we recall that the president sent high-level delegation to the North, where we even heard Ubasani telling us at the time, I think was it the governor of Zamfara or Kaduna State, telling us that the North has really benefited from Tinubu's administration with appointment, a lot of opportunities and allocation. So where exactly has the North not benefited from Tinubu's government, where they're complaining that the North has been left aside? What kind of agreement did the president have with the North that possibly has not clicked all the buttons, that the North are still dissatisfied with what Tinubu's administration has done for them? Barrister Darlington will be giving us an insight into that. Meanwhile, talking about the situation in the ADC, the grumbling hasn't stopped. Some supporters of Peter Obi say that Peter Obi cannot become a vice president for any reason, and some political analysts who are trying to be strategic to talk about the continued existence of the ADC ADC, even after 2027 elections, will be determined on the strategic thinking and the formation of their presidential and vice presidential ticket for 2027. Now, they're saying that if the ADC decides to zone and give it to Atiku and Peter Obi becomes vice, they should forget it. And they see the ADC as a party only existing that would only be dissolved after 2027. Others believe that Peter Obi is lacking a national appeal. Certain persons have been able to do it in such a way that they've conscribed him to have a regional appeal, and that for that to take place, for that national appeal to take place, he needs to be a vice. Well, these are permutations and calculations by a lot of political analysts, including some APC members who are also giving their thoughts into it. Again, it's a psyop, as some persons will say, to make it seem like it's not going to happen for anyone from the southeast. But let's take a listen to Baba Ahmed's reaction to that, as to how he described that appeal from the region.
To fly the ticket. You can settle the issue of who flies the flag even before the convention, but you need to go through the formalities of a convention. You have, and you should mention Rufai as well, even though he says his hat is not in the ring. But so you have Obi, you have Kwankwaso, if he does come in, because Kwankwaso hasn't. I'm not sure how much Kwankwaso has committed yet to the ADC, but let's assume he's there. Amechi is there. Rufai is there. The former governor of Osun State is there. There are quite a number of Nigerians who have fairly credible records of having held power and quite possibly could offer leadership. Then President Atiku could say, our best hope, for instance, is to say, why don't we produce an Igbo president? Obi is with us. If we combine his huge popularity with the Southeast and Igbo people, and the huge number of votes that he got in the North, largely because of, I think, the religious element was prominent in the manner people responded in 2023. And then we go out to the country and say, let's try an Igbo president, elected Igbo president, because he's good, not just because he's Igbo president, because he has credible record as governor, and because if we do this, it will certainly be the catalyst for the defeat of APC. That's the kind of things that will go for an Igbo presidency. If it's not going to be Obi, then you have to look for somebody from the Southwest good enough to provide a competition to President Tinubu in the Southwest and in other parts of the country, and say it doesn't have to be a northerner who will take over from Tinubu, but we have somebody from the Southwest, someone who will do incredibly better than this presidency, which is inconceivable what he is suggesting. If you are going to come into our party, you have to have a party card, you have to show levels of. The point he was making is that if you go through the conventional process of bringing out a candidate for a party, and that's the convention, not an anointing, not a handover, surrender to the ticket, Peter Obi is likely to lose. He used the word 100 times. I more or less agree with him. Vice President Atiku is head and shoulders better than all the other candidates in terms of emerging through a convention. Either he does this either through experience, or he has wider spread, better structures, and more loyal people. And he understands the mechanics of internal democratic politics, I think, better than the others. I think Governor Peter Obi's people and himself are not helping his case. What he really needs to do, I think, is to go out and soil his boots. I think he's the most traveled politician I've seen in the recent time, and that's good for him. He tries to stay in touch with grassroots, which is good for him. But what he needs to do now is to really sit down with his people and come to terms with the fact that he is now running against hardline politicians who also have their eyes on the same thing that he has his eyes on. What what Vice President Atiku did in terms of saying to his people, calm down, we don't want to start trading insults with each other, was the right thing. Peter Obi should do twice as much. I did a program 2-3 days ago where I mentioned the fact that Peter Obi would lose 100 conventions. You will be amazed at the number of people who commented and insulted me and said, oh, look at these people. How do they think Peter Obi will line up behind Atiku? I'm afraid in the democratic process, that's how it's done. Then you can have a consensus candidate. But you need to have the consensus of people like Atiku, maybe even Amechi, and maybe there are one or two dark horses who are working behind the scene. The point is that ADC's ticket is up for grabs, but it will be a very, very difficult task for anybody to get it other than President Atiku. So you have to choose.
All right, and I think this particular what he said, I think he's referring to Peter Obi's supporters who have been hard on the fact that the ADC needs to give the ticket to Peter Obi. But right now, the politics is different. I mean, you have a lot of big and heavyweights who actually want that ticket, and Peter Obi joined the fray. I mean, if he did not want any competition at all, he ought to have stayed in the Labour Party or any other party. But joining the ADC, obviously, he was prepared to run rough shuttle along with others. You have Amechi, who says he's not going for vice. You have Atiku Abubakar, who says he's not stepping down. And Baba Ahmed already said that with his experience in internal, what this whole internal elections that they have in primaries, Atiku is experienced. He knows the back end. He knows the underdog to talk to. He knows how to clip some wings and wet some strings and all of that, rather than having to give it a force and say, it's either you give it to Peter Obi or not. How come you guys are not mobilizing? Join the internal politics, begin to politic with those guys, make some concessions. That's the only way it works. In fact, you even need to speak with your fellow competitors to say, I will do this. I mean, let's do it like this. Let's work together like this. Show and throw your support for me, but that the supporters are not doing that. Rather, it's all about abuse and insults. Is a democracy, and that's how it works. Well, let's see how it goes in the course of the conversation this evening. Barrister Darlington Agumor, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Esther, and how are you once again?
Fine. Let's kick off. Barrister, first of all, you heard what Statistician said. It's quite deflating to see that in the whole 195 or almost 200 countries across the globe, Nigeria occupies 70% of killings across the globe. We're not even saying Afghanistan, Libya, all those countries that you say are supposedly major Islamic nations, that you say, okay, this is how they do things, and they're into buying immediately. Nigeria, in 2.5 hours, you have 2 people being killed.
And nobody's reporting all these things.
Wow.
Nobody's saying it. Esther, I thank God all these things are coming up, because I remember that last year, each time I came into the studio to raise these issues, some people would be calling me a tribalist, a religious bigot. True or false? Esther, true or false? But these are realities. I thank God America came in and this thing has come to the open now. Meanwhile, many have gone. Many lives have been wasted, Esther. Both Hausa Christians and other Christians, but the word is Christians. The question is, why targeting Christians, Esther? What was the agenda? Because whenever you say, it can never happen, they can never Islamize Nigeria, it can never happen. I was just looking at these people, and these are hired hands who want to convince you so that you keep quiet while your compatriots are being slaughtered. You can see. Persistently, you see Christian target. And you now ask yourself, why are you targeting these people? What did they do to you? Nobody has given us an answer. Esther, please, have you seen or have you had any time when these people go to any mosque and kidnap 300 people like they have been doing from Niger to Kaduna to Zamfara to all this to Sokoto? I mean, this large number of Muslims being kidnapped and taken away. Have you heard of such a thing? Have you heard of such a thing? Tell me. Those people who will now come and defend. You can see they don't want you to talk. Oh, Esther, the propaganda and the agenda is for you to keep quiet while they are doing whatever they are doing to you. You forgot that when they finish with the people in the north, they are coming over here. they will definitely come over here so that the agenda will be completed.
Are they not inquiring already? Are they not inquiring?
And they are coming gradually.
One of the schools have been shut down because of insecurity.
Exactly.
The school.
They are coming gradually. They are coming. I mean, the target is Lagos. When they hit Lagos now, it's all over. And when we say this here, instead of the people in authority to look at this thing, to look at this evil that is coming, they will be pretending as if nothing is going on. They will cover it. They won't even allow the press to report it exactly as it is. And they will not even rise up and say, come, why are we having problem with these people? Why are this particular ethnic group disturbing the whole country? Esther, nobody is calling them out. Nobody is saying anything. Esther, nobody is saying anything. Now they will be chasing the wrong persons. Disturbing the wrong people. Go to social media. I have never seen them attack all these terrorists. And the tribe they come from or their religion. Rather, they will be targeting the wrong people. True of us. On social media, do they call them out? No. Rather, they'll be attacking the wrong people. Esther. You wonder, is these people your problem? Is these people your problem? You can see. So they're even using you. They're even using you to Islamize you. That's just the simple truth. They are using you who claim to be civilized, who claim to have gone to school. You will be the one they will use to Islamize you without you saying anything, without you knowing it. It's very, very unfortunate, Esther. Seriously. That number will increase this year.
No, Barrister, let's not predict.
Really?
Evil, yes.
That's what we have been saying. God forbid. It's not our portion. Really? That's what we said last year. That was exactly what we were saying last year. Until things got to this level. Esther, how many years have people been staying in IDP camp in Benue and Plateau? How many years now?
It's been like that since
really?
Buhari came on board.
Really? Okay, really? Okay, those people are not human beings, Abi. Because it did not affect you. That's why people don't keep quiet over this serious issue.
No, Barrister, you can't say it doesn't affect us.
Why have you seen anybody calling this thing out?
Do you know that business activities cannot take place in those areas?
It can never happen.
They are not going to their farms.
It can't happen.
They can't sell their their crops.
It can't happen.
So people are forced to come and buy land to farm in Ogun State.
Can you imagine?
And all that. That's why a lot of private individuals are going to buy land to farm.
Can you imagine?
And supply to other states, because to transport your goods from there is something else. They pay money to allow them go to farm.
Esther, have you seen any time the National Assembly discuss this issue? Please tell me.
It's terrible, Barrister.
Esther, tell me. Have you seen any time all these social media rumors who don't know anything to do? Have you seen any time they are tweeting and talking about it?
No, Barrister,
to the attention of Tinubu. Have you seen any time it has become an issue on social media?
No, Barrister, those are not human beings.
Oh, they are not human beings, Abi.
That is what.
Really?
Yes, because
these are the issues.
Not keep quiet over what is obvious.
Oh, really?
It's obvious now.
These are the things that look. If you see how this thing pain me, I wish I had the power. Seriously, Esther, I wish I had the power. How can this happen in your own country? Your own countrymen, your fellow citizens are living in IDP camp, and you are not talking about it. You are not even shouting from the rooftop over this evil. And terrorists from foreign country have taken over their land. The house they built with their own money. Some people came to occupy it by force. They renamed the villages and they are staying there. Esther, what else do you want to say now? What else? How can you lobby anybody to defend all these things, Esther? From Buhari to Tinubu, the same thing, no change. No change. And somebody is telling me about reform. If you cannot reform human being, then what are you doing? Because that was the first thing you swore to protect. Life and property.
Barrister, the aide to the president, Dan Obala, has told us that they have a lot of cases on sponsors of terrorism-related activities in Nigeria in the court, that it's not all of them that are out in the open that we know. A lot of them, their cases are already in court and they're treating it. The intelligence agency are monitoring accounts of certain persons that are supposedly suspects of those sponsoring insecurity. Nuru Ribadu, the NSA too, they say he's in top gear in monitoring this, especially now that that the US government is focusing more on Nigeria, he has no choice but to have an open channel in seeing how they could effectively weaken the sponsors of these guys and how they're able to gather intelligence on the roots of our Nigerian military. However, it feels like they're very slow in effectually carrying that out. What could be the reason for that?
They are afraid of them.
Afraid of them?
They are afraid of these people. I said, have you had any time they were called out the same way they called Nnamdi Kanu out and IPOB? Esther, terrorism is terrorism now. You saw how IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu were treated. They exposed them, they disgraced them, they humiliated them, they called them and they proscribed them. Why are they not doing the same thing to these people? Have you seen them? Have you seen their face anywhere? Have you seen their name? Is what Bwala is telling you. Why is it that President Tinubu have not made a very serious statement and called them out? Read out their names. As he's talking on air, people will be seeing those people. They will line them up. Have you seen such a thing, Esther? But Nnamdi Kanu will be disgraced like a common criminal and sentenced to jail. Everybody saw when the trial was going on. Is that not true? So why are these people? We are not seeing anything. Everything about them is in secrecy. That means the likelihood of reintroducing him into the society is very obvious. Because you don't know them, you don't see them. So even when they come in, will you know? Esther, since you have not seen them as terrorists before, if they finish with the matter in court and later reintegrate them into the society, will you know?
No, you don't know, because you haven't seen their face.
Yeah, you can see what the people are doing. Very dubious way of prosecuting a criminal case. Very dubious. What are you telling me? This is not how to go about this thing. If you don't name them and shame them, how can they stop what they are doing? They still believe that yes, the government is afraid of them. They still believe so. Ordinary Toju Bello here, who came from Nigeria, Esther, the military have not been taking him down for whatever reason. This man had been
actually very surprising.
It's
almost difficult to apprehend him.
It is not just. It is very shameful. Seriously, the federal government will send emissaries to go and meet this man, and the police and army will not follow them to catch him. After they have gone and come back, the army will not tell us we are still looking for Toju Bello. If you have any information about him, you should let us know. Esther, oh God, this thing, I don't know how to treat this matter seriously. So those people that went to see, you didn't ask them, well, go and show me, go and show us where you saw, where you were having meeting with the Toju. You can't do that, Abi. You can see deceit. Esther, you can see deceit. So when I tell you that this military are not doing enough, these are my points, these are my facts. The last time they went to see, you saw what happened. The man had the audacity, the temerity to tell them, oh yeah, you see this arms, 32 of them, oh yeah, take it. You go and give your people. No, you get them some arms and then took some people, 32 of them in number, and said, go and give your government. These are captives. They are no longer need them. They are not useful to me. Or take them. Go. And greet your president for me. Esther. This thing happened in this country. And the men came back and they were so happy. They were so jubilant that they went to go and meet a terrorist. And they were congratulating Tinubu, congratulating the National Security Advisor, congratulating everybody that they went to go and meet a terrorist, Esther. Hey, God Almighty. And you tell me you are serious, that you are fighting terrorism. The army did not tell these people, oh, come, go and show us where you and this man met. They didn't. Later, when these people are come back, we are looking for, please, if you have information, where, tell us. Esther, you can imagine. You can imagine. So, when I'm talking about these people and their deceit, I have my facts. I have my facts. Very deceitful. Who will believe this nonsense, Esther? And you tell me you are fighting terrorism. On what ground? Tell me, give me the evidence. There was a time Shegumi challenged them that all these terrorists they said they are killing. Can we see the body? Shegumi challenged them. Let us see the body of these people you are killing. Every time they kill 200. They kill 150. They kill 1,000. Yet, nobody sees any of their dead body. But when they go to a village, when When they go to a village, we see their handwork. Corpses will be lying everywhere. Thank God for social media. Corpses will be everywhere. We see the handwork. So why should anybody now sit down and believe that government is working on this matter? Tell me. All the discussion with American officials is to slow them down so that they will believe that they are doing something. Meanwhile, nothing is being done, Esther. That's why these guys have the temerity to continue to do what they are doing. Esther, since America bombed Sokoto on the 25th of December last year, has anything changed? No, tell me, has anything changed? Has there not been killings and kidnapping everywhere? Tell me. And the federal government has not even issued a statement, a categorical statement as to what is going on. Since Tinubu came back, has he made a statement, Esther?
No,
oh,
he
really?
hasn't.
Oh, really?
Well, I think he's going through several reports presented to him.
Yes, it's true. Yes,
and a lot of issues that happened in his absence.
Exactly, it's true. You are very, very correct. It's true. They told us they can rule from anywhere. Yeah. So why is he not making that statement everywhere he is?
He sent a statement to Bayo.
Bayo no say talk, no be Tinubu talk. Esther, can Donald Trump? Oh my God. My people perish for lack of knowledge. Can Donald Trump tolerate this thing just for 1 minute? 1 minute, one minute like this? Can he tolerate it? And you are telling me they are just interested in 2027, as if there will be any difference in 2027. Esther, can you just imagine? Can you just imagine where we are, Esther? That is why I sympathize with people who don't know what is going on. Every time politics, everything now politicized. Even the food you eat is politicized now. That is the intent now. Everybody jump into APC. That is the trend now. That's the trend. Let me ask you, if you enter into APC, will it bring insecurity to an end, Esther? Will it improve the price of foodstuffs in the market? Will it give you NEPA? Will it give you light? You can just imagine. When I say my people pay for lack of law, these are part of it. You don't ask yourself, this place I'm going into, what benefit will it bring to Nigerian people? What benefit is it going to bring? Except your selfish interest, they will give you crumbs from the table. Crumbs from the table. And you'll be smiling home. Like a newly wedded monkey. You think that they have given you something. You'll be laughing. They gave you something. And you are happy. You are happy. Meanwhile, your fellow countrymen are dying. They are dying somewhere. Living in IDP camp for over 10 years now. Esther, do you imagine the type of trauma these people are going through? And tomorrow you want them to be good citizens, Abi? Esther, can you breed anybody in such environment and expect that person to behave well? Please, can it ever happen? No, we are talking and nobody will listen. I know very well that when those boys there are up to 2025, you will see another terrorism. They will go back to reclaim their land. They will never take it. Oh, they will live in that place, marry in that place, Abi, and begin to rear their own children. Maybe by that time their parents would have died, Abi. Really? You can see how your country think. Maybe another government will inherit this mess. Now that APC is creating this mess, they will not talk about it too. By the time they leave it and come back, another government, innocent government, will inherit the problem. And they will not sit somewhere and be laughing. I pray God will keep all of us alive. I will be here to remind them what he did in office. That's the truth. I will be here to remind them. Shebi, we are talking and nobody want to listen. Nobody want to address the problem. Don't worry. It will snowball into something else. Maybe the Christian militia will start from those IDP camp. Because they will rise up to fight. They will rise up to fight for their own independence. Whether you like it or not, it will come to pass.
All right, Barrister, while all of that is ongoing, like I said, it's quite unfortunate what we have seen. Trump made a statement in Davos and a lot of Nigerians have been reacting to it. He has actually commented that, yes, after the hit on December 25, 2025, that the Nigerian government too have been hitting hard on this terrorists. But having this kind of information come up, 177 abducted in Kaduna State from 3 different churches, it buttresses the point about supposed Christian genocide. Now the terrorists are asking that if at all the government wants those individuals to be released, their motorcycle that were seized needs to be given back to them, and the monetary worth of it is about 29 or 28 point something million naira. So are we saying that in order for the government to prevent those people from getting into harm, because the idea is to use those people as a protective shield while they move around? One of the community members said they cited them moving, so those people are obviously a shield. Nobody can hurt them because you don't know who is the terrorist and who are those that are the abductees. So the question is, what do you think will eventually happen? They would have to concede, the Nigerian military or the government would have to concede to their demand?
There is no way money will not exchange hands. Esther, at the end of the day, money must exchange hands, or they are going to hurt those people. They couldn't have taken all these risks for nothing. It's not possible. Money is going to exchange hands. In fact, they even say you should deposit 29 million naira.
That is if they cannot give them bags.
They said deposit. That means after the deposit, you are not going to pay more. That one is that one is all refundable deposit. Human beings are now market. They are now cargo. Human beings are now cargo where you deposit money. All refundable deposit. Is it not in business transaction that you hear such terms, such terminology? That is where we are now, Esther. That is where we are now. Oh, I am very happy with God, though. In fact, Esther, I am so happy, because if God did not expose these things the way it is, nobody would have believed that this is what APC have in store for Nigerians. This is exactly what they have in store for Nigerians. Look at under their word. Look at where we are.
All right, so we're going to take a very short break, and then when we return, we'll head into precisely what is going on in Rivers, and afterwards, Seyi Makinde visiting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what that actually means, because we know Seyi Makinde is wanting to contest in 2027, and there's been a lot of Southwesterners who are saying Seyi Makinde should go and rest. He should not act like a Sabo. We're going to understand precisely what could have generated or inspired him to say that. It could just be a casual greeting anyways, but there are political undertones attached to it. You're currently listening to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll take a very short break, and then when we return, the Evening Rush continues. Stay kind of stay with us.
House dey dark and nepa bill dey choke. E dey worry you as e dey affect your business. Solution don come. Imagine say you wake up for morning, light no shake, fridge don block, business no get wahala, everything dey okay. No be dream o. With Yohaku, na you dey control your light. Yohaku dey sell gas cooker, freezer, fridge, and dem go furnish you with modern kitchen o. Whether na inverter, batteries, panels, smart street lights, be na solar AC system wey you wan use for house, business, abi for industrial work, Yohaku stand chim to help you. Bye to nepa bill o. No wait till transformer go spoil again o. Oya run call Yohaku for 070-121-30260 or 080-324-82573, or you fit to call 080-669-60066. For Lagos, we dey for shop F1179 Industrial Section, Ojo Alaba International Market, or shop G6 Electronic Section, Alaba International Market, Headline, Uche Ubochi Plaza, Abuja office na Corporate 13, Dubai International Market, back of Games Village, Karu District for Abuja. For Port Harcourt, we dey for number 51, Oporo Road, Eziowa Elite Trade Center for Rivers State. Yohaku website na www.yohakuproducts.com. Online store na www.yohakustore.com. Yohaku, from sun to earth, we dey make your mind dey cool.
Welcome back. This is still the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. I'm Barrister Darlington will fight on air. When we go off air,
Really concerned.
Oh my God. Barrister Darlington, let's start off with very quickly with Seyi Makinde visiting the president. I remember during the world news, we were trying to attach it to something going on, going on there. And why do you think that's basically the reason why he went to visit the president?
No, it's not part of it because they say by their fruits we shall know them. You understand? When things are happening like this that have to deep rooted meaning, you cannot rule it out. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't rule out that the traditional institutions are now been immersed in politics, and so the more they make an inroad into traditional institutions, the better, because they will use them. Esther, they will use them. If not, Makinde wouldn't have done that thing he did in Ibadan. He couldn't. And so, for a PDP man going to visit you, on what ground? By the way, Esther, do you ever believe that Makinde will contest that election against Tinubu? No, tell me.
Why is that not? Are we not in a democratic society? If you aspire, why does it feel as if anyone who wants to contest against Tinubu is committing a crime?
Hold on. You and I know very well that yes, you see, in Nigerian politics, there are things you must be certain about. Don't deceive yourself. Tribal sentiment, religious sentiment, ethnic sentiment play a major role in Nigerian politics. That is why somebody told you that Nigeria is a geographical expression, because you can't walk with 3 strange bedfellows in one room. That is what these British people did to us for their own selfish interests. So those things will continue to play a role, whether you like it or not.
Look at 2023. In 2023, was it like that?
It was almost like that now. That's why they are taking time now to make sure such mistake does not happen again. In fact, it happened. Esther, it happened. And that was why people like Akpabio Ononoga was speaking, talking that they will not allow a certain ethnic group to play any role in Lagos politics. Esther, didn't you hear such a thing? From such a man. Then there are other things the other people said. So if people at that height are making this statement, what does that tell you? And now, the thing has escalated. Their younger ones are now taking to social media to insult almost everybody. And then tomorrow you come out and tell me that you are civilized, you went to school. In fact, education started with you. How will I believe you? Esther, how will I believe you? Let your civilization show in your manners. You don't need to tell me, I will see it in you.
Yeah.
I will see it in you. It's just as someone telling me that their religion is a religion of peace. You don't need to tell me, let me see it. That is propaganda. You are trying to whitewash something that is not true. Don't tell me, let me see it in you, so that I will believe. The people that are actually peaceful, did they talk, Esther? No, did they talk? They don't talk now. You will see it in their mannerism. You see it in their behavior. You don't need to start telling us what is not there.
All right. So, Barrister, we're at a crossroad right about now. There are some persons who do not know the difference between doing your job and being respectable and being strategic. So basically the politics is already polarized, as you can see. And you heard what Baba Ahmed said about the support base of certain of these principles. He said an obvious thing that if there is a primary conducted, 101% in the ADC, Atiku would win because of experience and, the fact that he, the underdog and everything, he would. But that when he made that statement in one of the interviews, that the support base of Peter Obi started insulting him and all of that. I will tell you that I'm also a victim of, these insults. As a presenter, a certain group of persons expect you to promote an individual because he's your brother. There's no government representative here for me to present the angle of the government. So you see people say, oh, I'm doing my job. I am not supposed to have any leaning. I'm not supposed to have any side. I'm supposed to present as is. But you see some primitive elements who think they are intelligent. Unfortunately, they are just barbarically backwards, but just seem to be intelligent in order that they know how to use social media or type or whatever. Say, oh, Esther, you are acting like a mumu. You don't know what you're doing. How can you try to defend the government? I'm literally doing my job. Some people understand I am doing that, but a lot of Nigerians are very emotional and sensitive. So their reaction is to be condescending, insults, and all of that. We're used to it. It's part of our job. They also forget the fact that the press is not completely free in this part of the world. You have to be very, very careful.
Of course.
The SS is monitoring the conversations that we have here. If you're seen to present the government in a certain light or seem like you're trying to create any form of disunity, anything could happen. And these rats will definitely not save you. They will not help your cause. Also, the ethics of the profession, they do not know the rigorosity you've gone through it, so they only have their personal opinions. Now, normally, you will not pay attention to these guys because they're acting out of sentiments, they're emotional, they're not happy with the situation in the country. How can you educate a couple of persons to learn to be strategic politically? There is something they say, the Hausa, Fulani, and the Yorubas. They're like political brothers and sisters. They know how to have put their differences aside to politically strategize to get something for themselves. It's always been like that. For others, some persons, they're very outright. They're forthright. They don't know how to be diabolical. They don't know how to be, mince words. And some people don't like that. So I'd rather not want to work with you because of how you call me out. You just have to pat somebody at the back to get what you want. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Now, what is currently going on in the ADC, the talk is, if the ADC does not zone to the south, a couple of supporters will no longer support that party. There are some people that see that party existing as a one-term party. That is, after the 2027 elections, the party may not continue, because if they don't win, then they're all there for an interest of unseating Tinubu. So the thing now is, he made a statement and said, unless Atiku decides to be like, after all, he has campaigned over and over and over, step down, galvanize, see how you can pick one of the southeastern aspirants and support them, advertise them to the north, because you know how the north sees things.
Exactly.
Okay? But he's saying that that's the only way it can happen. He's advising Atiku to step down if the ADC wants to be strategic. But there is a situation about Peter Obi being presented as an Igbo president. The Nigerian government, I don't know what, let me not use Nigerian government. Nigeria, I don't know their issue with the southeast when it comes to politics. There's always this idea that if somebody from the southeast emerges, they would want to break away or that they are dominating or whatever. So I don't know what someone from the southeast needs to do to be accepted by those from the north and those from the southwest. Some from the southwest say at some point in time an Igbo president will come, but it must never be Peter Obi. To them, it must never be him. It has to be someone else. Maybe someone that is in the APC. They are flouting, what's his name? Dave Umahi, Chukuma Soludo of Anambra State. They say those ones know how to play the politics because they're in good terms with the president and all of that. So, can you help, dissect the scenario? The supporters of these principles in the political party, the reaction afterwards, and what is the strategic, I need you to be strategic. What's a strategic way to handle the situation of the APC members and their supporters?
Esther, I thank you for coming to me through this way, because you too yourself, you have strategically asked me this question. But I will say that God knows I have done my duty to my people. Seriously, I have done my duty to the best of my knowledge. It's just that, like they say, my people perish for lack of knowledge. These things have dealt with us on several occasions because of this type of behavior, thinking that you know, it must be this way. Esther, I use other people to give example. Look at the strategic role Tinubu played to bring Buhari into a government. In fact, Tinubu bankrolled, Tinubu supported, Tinubu played every role you can think. It was his private jet that Buhari used to campaign. True or false?
True.
He did all these things. His people did not tell him, why must you support Malam? Why did you support, he was doing his things. Meanwhile, He knows that after Buhari, it will come over here. And nobody is going to drag it with him. Because by that time, he will have used all this support to garner some wealth, some support from the north. Is that not true?
True.
Esther, is that not true?
True.
Good. Now listen. I want to start from the beginning. Because it is always good to say this thing because of tomorrow. Esther, let us start from what happened recently. You remember when some people woke up and said they are going to protest for Nnamdi Kanu release? I said, please don't stop what I know that is going on behind closed doors. Don't do it. Esther, I said it on this platform. You saw what I received. Yeah. I said this protest will not yield anything, especially with the man that is trying to do it. After all, this man does not have any good record with the federal government. So why do you think the federal government will listen to him? Esther, is that not what I said here? Yeah, they went ahead. At the end of the day, what happened? Do you know that if Nnamdi Kanu had been in detention, or this matter had been going to court, this matter had been treated the way it should be treated.
Oh, he's still in DSS.
Hold on. Is that not? I'm coming. Is it not when this so-called protest, the idea was mooted that the federal government started immediately to stampede Nnamdi Kanu to go to court for trial? Is that not what happened? They stampeded him, give him 6 days to start, Meanwhile, it shouldn't have been so. If Nnamdi Kanu had been in detention with DSS, and this thing happened with Donald Trump and all that, Esther, do you know we have been talking about releasing Nnamdi Kanu by now? We should have been talking. In fact, the federal government wouldn't have started the trial of Nnamdi Kanu.
Are you sure?
With this thing that's going on, they can't try it. They can't try it. Nnamdi Kanu would rather than they'll be talking of releasing him. Esther, I beat my chest here. What I told my people, they refused to listen. Why do you think they started that trial immediately? Why do you think they were in a hurry to dispense with it before Donald Trump will come? Because they know that this man has a linkage with Donald Trump. And if this matter gets to him and say he has been in detention for 10 years, Donald Trump will say, no, release him first, or else I'll bomb all of you. This was the strategy. Nobody listened to me. They were listening to somebody who is even going on trial now. Esther. With all those shenanigans, what came out of it? Immediately, they harassed Nnamdi Kanu into jail now. He's now serving jail sentence. And you can see now, because it would have been easier to release Nnamdi Kanu in detention than now that he has been imprisoned. It will now take a longer period. You can imagine. These are the things I told my people, they refuse to listen. Because somebody came, you didn't ask yourself, why is this man championing this thing now? What was the hurry? You never knew that all these things had been done, discussed behind closed doors. And they use you. They use you to do what they did. And now Nnamdi Kanu have been jailed. And this is what happens when you are not strategically thinking. The same thing I'm talking about now, Esther. Because you asked me a question here. Esther, there are questions I've asked here. Nobody has answered me. If you say Obi should run alone, on what ground? We don't have an independent candidate in our constitution now. So why are you saying he should run alone? Is it possible? Okay, even if you say like he should go, he must run with a northerner. And I ask you one question here. Who is that northerner that will give Obi the leverage he needed in the north? Like Baba Ahmed is saying now that it is an Atiku that will now sell Obi to them. Is that not true? Oh, you can see. The same thing I've been saying here.
He wants to act as a statesman.
Exactly. It is it's the one.
There's really no need for him to run.
Exactly.
But then again, there's a perception about.
There must be discussion to that effect. Not you, not these people who are trying to put you into trouble. If you don't give Obi a ticket, all of us will leave. If you don't give him ticket, why are you forcing people? Look, these are things you need to discuss strategically. Convince him. Not this thing that they are doing, forcing Obi. Esther, with the way things are now, if Obi does not align with the North, can they allow him to work? Esther, with this thing that is going on now, can they even allow him to work? If Obi should get into that office now, without an agreement with the North, can he fight this thing that's going on in the North now, Esther? Can he fight it? No, be sincere to yourself. Can he fight it? These are the strategy I was talking about. They don't believe that because he ran Anambra, therefore he can run Nigeria. with the way things stand. Was Anambra like this when Obi was running it?
You know.
You can see the difference, Esther. Yet my people don't want to listen. Let us think strategically here. They said no.
Because Baba was saying that in a democratic setting, everybody in that party is interested in that ticket. So if you want to prove your worth, if you say you're popular, fine, prove your worth, and then start negotiating internally with those you need to negotiate with. We saw videos of Amici. He's already going to meet a couple of people. Very silent. And again, that's another option everyone is thinking cannot come up. I mean, the last primaries in 2019 thereabout, Amici came second, which actually surprised everybody in the internal primary that they had in the APC. So they're saying Peter Obi should, soil his boot. He's well traveled, agreed. But then you would understand where the supporters are coming from. They feel like the Igbos have always been the one to stay at the back end. Okay, support this person. Don't worry, your time will come. It's like you're dangling the carrot in their face. Don't worry, do this for us. Our time will come. And it has never happened. Now that there was someone that supposedly has prospect, I mean, for an Igbo person, you have to work extra hard. You have to be different than the others because there's something about being from that region. You have to break all the barnacles, right? So they're saying, whether you guys like it or not, we're part of this country. We will not say we need to diplomatically try to reason with you guys like we're begging you to be recognized. No, we're part of this country. We have a right just like you. I don't need to come pet your back or whatever. If you guys have done your time, it's a time of the South. And so we're demanding because we're Nigerians. We don't need to clobber. We don't need to grovel to beg you. For what? That's basically where they're coming from.
It is not begging. This is exactly why Awolowo never ruled Nigeria. He was so rigid. Awolowo was so rigid. That was why the North insisted that they would not give it to him. I'm not joking. Awolowo was also saying that North is nothing. They did not even allow him to campaign. Esther, understand your environment. You stoop to conquer. Seriously. People should understand things the way it is. Be strategic. Even God Almighty, Esther.
But Barrister,
hold on.
In the midst of all this, it's not just the Igbos that are supporting Peter Obi, you know that.
No, Esther, please leave this.
No, Barrister,
I am coming. Hold on, please. Hold on. What are you telling me? Who said it's only the Igbos? Okay, the people that are supporting, what did they bring to the table? I am telling you now that things have changed. If the election of 2023 cost 3 million naira, I mean 3 trillion naira, this election, the way I'm looking at it, if some people spend the 10 trillion naira, it's a peanut. From the way it is now, they have bought virtually everything and everybody. I gave you examples here. It's not about talking and talking and talking. The other day, they put up a form on the internet. Say all the obedient to register your name, Esther. Please, how many people registered? What are the numbers? Esther, what are the numbers? Because we have to be blunt here. What are the numbers? It's not enough to be talking and shouting from abroad or from everywhere. Will you come and vote? Will you come and vote? That is the issue here. Work surreptitiously, work clandestinely. Be strategic in your planning. Because this thing will eventually come to you, whether they agree or not. I have said it here.
Even if people come out to vote, you heard about the rigging. Atiku already raised an alarm that the Electoral Act, nothing is, they're not signing it. Okay. All the corrections that have been made, the National Assembly is stalling because they plan to rig it, and there's going to be a repetition of what happened in 2023, in 2027. So again, even if people come out to vote, sometimes they handle the voting of people at the collation center.
Not only that, the people that want to rig, they know that you don't even have the power to challenge them. That is just the simple truth. If the obedient are as aggressive as I think, if they can match APC, violence for violence, I will say, okay, there is no cause for alarm. Abi? But from all indications, like I challenged them here during the local government election in Lagos State, Esther, did anybody raise a finger and say, oh, no, this thing is not good?
No, but Barrister, during the local government
yeah,
elections,
you can see now.
Labour Party was already polarized.
Really?
Peter Obi was literally not even in the Labour Party as an active candidate.
At that time, he said his leg is in the Labour Party and the ADC. So why didn't the followers to choose
Barrister, you do know very well that him being the Labour Party was just on paper, not in reality.
Okay, is that
I'm just saying you can't count the local government elections as something.
Is that a complimentary action to take for somebody who wants to contest presidential election? Is that a complimentary action? Tell me. Talk now. We are saying something here. Nobody wants to understand us. I have said this in severally. Yet nobody has given me a very good answer. The only thing is they are telling that Obi must contest, Obi must do this, Obi must do that. Where are the strategy to achieve result? It's like somebody going for WAEC exam and you are not reading, you are not burning the midnight candle. How will you pass the exam, Esther? Tell me. It's not enough to travel the whole world. The Nigerian politics is Nigerian politics the way it is. How do you achieve result? How do you get it? Who are those people that will fight for you? So when you neglect all this, please, Esther, how will you achieve result? Right now, as I talk to you now, the judiciary is over, the police is over, the army is over, the National Assembly is over. Esther, INEC is over. So who do you have behind you? Esther, who do you have behind you? The so-called people now, when they shoot one gun like this, everybody will take off to their homes. Nobody will start to challenge it. Esther, nobody will stand to fight it and say, no, this must not happen. And so what are you holding on to now? What are you holding on to? Those who are just speaking grammar on air. Is that not the only thing? Esther, is that not the only thing? Is that not the only thing? Tell me. Who will leave his shop in Alaba or Aladipo supermarket, close his shop to go and do protest? Who? Has it ever happened before? It's not our character now. It's not our character. So you must act within your character. It's not about talking. This man now who is in office, he said he planned it for 30 years. 30 good years, he planned it. And eventually it worked. Is that not strategy, Esther?
True.
Is that not strategy? When I'm talking here, people will be talking and talking. Why not groom a party? Make that party your own. That is, from start to finish, you must be the arrowhead. Anybody that comes here must pass through you. Not the party that other people own. When you go there, they'll be tossing you up and down. This one will be talking, this one will be talking. Esther, is that proper? Is that proper? Oh, for somebody. I'm talking of strategy here. I'm talking of strategy. Because after now, they will start insulting themselves.
Barrister, the insult is typical.
It doesn't matter. But God knows that I'm telling them the truth. What are you telling me? Why not group? Awolowo did his own with Action Group. Tinubu did it to AC. Is that not true? Is that not true? Where they were the king there. They are the one, they own the party. They decide what happens there. Groom a party that will project you and your obedience. So that, yes, nobody will come there to toss you around. Nobody will come there and tell you stories. You will not be debating whether you will contest or not. No, you are the owner. You decide what happened in that party. Groom it. Not to go into a party that others have made up and they'll be tossing you up and down. People will be surprised if you don't do this, as if you're a baby. Can they decide for you? Who are the
I think all of those T's and I's have been crossed and dotted.
They have not. If they have,
I mean for him before he joined the ADC.
Oh God, I don't think so.
Why? He took a long time, and all of these negotiations were done. Conversations were hard.
It's not. If not, Baba Ahmed will not be talking the way he's talking.
Well,
if they have done it, Atiku will not be saying he will not stand up for it.
Don't you think he had decided that I'm not desperate to be president? If a primary is conducted, I don't win, fine, I show support for whoever. What if that is the mindset here?
The obedient people that Tanko Yunusa have said that they are not leaving ADC.
Exactly.
But then look at what the other people are saying. That if they give Obi ticket or not, they are staying in ADC. Is that not what that man said? But the other people in the same obedient they are telling Obi, if they don't give you ticket, we are leaving you. You must leave that place. Is that not what you are hearing?
What if it's the opposition that is sounding like that?
I don't know them, but they claim to be obedient. Is that not what I've been saying here? That most people that are deceiving Obi, they are not even obedient. Because they are not giving me strategic thinking. They are not made any suggestion that I will say, yes, somebody is talking. This is an intelligent suggestion. They have not true. The only telling to be, if they don't give you ticket, leave. Don't stay there.
You know he can't leave at this point.
No, they are telling you to leave now.
That would be political suicide.
They are telling you to leave. That now that they opened the door for Labour Party.
Well, no.
Even though
Abure is appealing it. It's going to reach the Supreme Court.
So it's a minefield they left for Obi, so that you be undecided. Esther, you be undecided.
Barrister, he's not a child. When you say undecided,
they have told us this several times. And I asked them, those people, all the time that was wasted, what is the benefit now? Because no agreement was reached that Obi will be the flag bearer.
No.
They have not.
He's running. It's an open ticket. Do your thing and grab it. See how you can speak, consolidate your power persuasion.
What was that agreement that made you to waste all this time? Esther, tell me. Is that not what I said that they wanted to crucify me? Please tell me. Who is not right and who is wrong?
Is
Esther?
it possible that because it's a lot of them are still very young, a lot of them just started understanding
all these
politics. A lot of them were not really
all these adults who claim to know more than God.
A lot of them actually became active into.
You know that you're alone. I gave you a scenario here, Esther. 774 local government area. You need human beings to man those police units. Is that not true? In one local government, there must be at least 200 polling units. And those 200 police mean 200 agents. Your agent, they must be there present to watch your vote, to validate it, to sign from EC8 or so. They must be there present in all the 770 local government area. Esther, when APC discovered that you don't have anybody, they will manipulate that polling unit. That was what happened in the last election, that 28,000 polling units, there was no Labour Party agent there, and they used it in that tribunal. Oh my God. Why can't these people reason with me, for God's sake? Esther. Why can't these people understand what is going on here? They deliberately use those things against APC. Against Labour Party. When they said this, when they brought those things, so that this polling unit, they said, was your agent present in this polling unit? Let them come forward. Nobody came forward. Esther, nobody came forward. All because of what? Paucity of funds to pay the agents. Is that not what happened? Is that not what happened, Esther?
Yeah, they were not
so what are you telling me now? You want to repeat the same mistake again, Abi? Since you know better. They want to push people to be away from a victim that is almost almost near. They want to push him away with their rhetorics. That does not have taproot, no taproot. There's
a long way to go about this whole thing.
Let them go ahead.
2023 is not 2027.
Remember, you asked me this question because tomorrow they will forget. They will forget what they said. Esther, they will forget what they said. That is just my word. The same people, when things go the other way, they will turn around and start twisting it. Because I remember they said Obi should not go to ADC because Atiku is there, and I said Obi, you must go there and work with Atiku. Is that not where I become a bad boy? Now that Obi have gone there with Atiku, apparently he listened to me. You know what they are saying now? That's not what we mean. We mean that if Obi go to ADC, if they don't give him ticket, they are not going to give him ticket to. You can see these people, very tricky human beings.
Very let's calls.
Very tricky human beings.
The number to call is 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. 0817-1756-338. That's a WhatsApp number. So if you're watching us outside Lagos, outside Nigeria, you can call the WhatsApp number. But if you're in Nigeria, please send a message with that number. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello, good evening. Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother.
My name is Alexo.
Alexo.
Esther.
Alexo.
Sir.
Okay. Is that why you've not called?
Nobody's well, sir.
Hold on.
My prayers God will continue to protect you everywhere you go.
Amen.
Day and night, you and Esther.
Amen.
Against your enemies, God will destroy them in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Esther, I want to appeal to you, please, about this coalition or opposition party. We've been talking about this for long. It's like you are exposing these parties to the APC. What we should be talking about is providing solution on how to make sure the rightful winner is being installed, not people that manipulate elections. Now, we should be thinking of planning how people should come out and vote. Vote against evil. Vote out those that don't care about the people. Please, we should stop talking about Obi said it or Atiku said it. Let them, they know what they are doing.
Well, sir, Mr.
Please, I'm appealing to you guys. It doesn't make sense when we continue to talk about.
We will have the conversation because
something.
no, I don't know if you joined from the beginning. I played the response of this man. Everyone is talking about it. Obviously, we'll talk about it if it's in the news. We'll talk about pressing matters. We'll talk about issues that are setting the politia buzz. You can't tell me not to talk about it when this is the political season. No, you can't. You can't call and say don't talk about them. That's not it. Yes, I agree with you. How we can enforce that people can come out to cast their votes. Very true. And I refer to what Atiku said about the Electoral Act. They are stalling in it because according to him, they intend to manipulate the elections in 2027. So how do we encourage people to come out and vote? Very good one. But don't say don't talk about it. This is a political season. We're even launching a political program in the date very, very soon. We'll be talking about this every day. Get ready, Mr. Alex. Hello, good evening. Hello?
Yeah, good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. Welcome.
Good
How
evening.
are you?
Yeah. Mazi from Germany.
Welcome, Mazi.
Let me be. I mean, this is my own opinion anyway.
Okay.
P2B is wasting his own time. I believe that Nigeria is not yet for Igbo presidency because I listened to Baba Ahmed, what he said on channels and Arise Television.
Exactly.
This is the mindset of the core north.
Exactly.
The core northerners, they have made up their mind that they will never vote for allow an Igbo man to become the president of Nigeria. All the things you see some people, in the north. Those ones are they are not the influencer, the main people, the opinion molders in the north. Exactly. I grew up there, I know their mindset, I know how they see an Igbo man. Exactly. For them, they are still holding Igbo people responsible for the death of Ahmadu Bello and Tafa Bellowa. P2B is wasting his own time. I am telling you the fact. The best option would have been let Nigeria be restructured. Let it be constitutional that Nigerian presidency should be rotational. Write it down in the constitution. Anything less than this is a wishful thinking for an Igbo man to become the president of Nigeria. I've said this many times. Some people called me the same thing they are calling barrister now. 2027 is at hand. Well, by the grace of God, we are going to.
Oh, why now? Mazi, who cut you off? Who did that?
But Esther, that thing that is impossible, it can be made possible.
Turn down the volume of your radio.
It can be made possible by strategic.
Good evening, ma. Good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening. I'm the one that they called me this time yesterday. Malam Ibrahim Umaru.
Malam Ibrahim Umaru, welcome. How you doing?
Send my greeting to Barrister Darlington.
Yes, he's here. He can hear you.
Yes, Barrister.
Yes.
Well done. I'm a skillful animal. Well done. You have said everything. And the last man that called has said everything. No, that is nothing but the truth. That is the reality. If you see to Fulani blood, we all people responsible for what happened between Ahmadu Bello and Sardauna. So unless we make a gentleman agreement that the presidency should be replaced, but if not so, my people will not allow an Igbo man to win. That is nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth. Let us do that. So, Barrister, pertaining to what is happening in the north, insecurity. Are you hearing me very well?
I'm hearing you.
The funny part of it, the government are aware. They know everything that is happening. Because some people, if after, in Oriye, a place we call Jaba, Jabba beach, yes, Jabba.
Yes.
Boundary between Niger and Kwara State.
Yes.
Immediately you step into that beach, you will see a military checkpoint there, got some military evacuation of water that they were there. After you come down from the beach, you meet some Fulani express. Training car with AK-47 live. If you don't believe it, I will take you there. Go and see with your own eyes. Are you hearing me?
We are hearing you.
So these are people, what do they call them? Mireti Allah, whatever they call their name, they are all still listening. Problem fire is catching on the mountain. Every big fire, it is only God that will save us. These people that will go and kidnap all of Fulani, they are my people. I will not deny you. They come in large number, 80, 95 motorcycles. We take it for together. Nobody sees them. Nobody is. Are they from heaven? Oh God. You are the best. You are the best. So Barika, please, this is my number. I want to talk to you private. I want to learn more. Allah will allow you to learn more from Fulani. Please, take my number, please.
I will take it. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Okay,
the man that spoke is a Fulani man. You heard him? You heard him. He's talking about his people, the way they behave.
Hello, he called yesterday. Hello, Remy, welcome.
They will not listen.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Greetings to Barrister.
Well done, Remy. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Remy, I want you not to be calling with WhatsApp. Somebody has just spoiled his number now. Somebody.
I've been thinking send up from the village.
Hello, good evening.
They don't want you to talk.
Hello? Some of you, they'll call, they'll pick, you will not answer. Why? 08036929933. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome, sir. What's your name?
My name is Sunday Uzo. I'm calling from Elasa.
Welcome, sir. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Barrister, please, I kneel down begging you. You are my elder. When you are discussing Nigerian matter, don't bring origin in the canon. Understand? When you are discussing Nigerian issue politically, because in your statement this evening, you are mocking those who go to protest in favor of Nigerian.
Let me hear. Who is mocking who? Who mock who? I said they made a mistake. They made a mistake.
What? Okay, wait. Barrister.
What did they bring to us?
Barrister, when you thought you know everything, why can't you go into the politics and you say you are wait, let me talk. Stop doing all these things.
Why are you talking like this?
Barrister, Nnamdi Kanu is not discussing one Nigeria. I'm a follower of Nnamdi Kanu. We are fighting for our freedom. Barrister, when you are discussing Nigeria, please, you don't bring Nnamdi Kanu into the matter.
Let me hear, please. What do you know? What do you know that I've done? Don't you know? We are telling you, but you came here, you know. I saw, don't go on that protest. There is a process on ground to free Nnamdi Kanu. Is that not what I said? They went on protest and now nothing came out of it. And because you are part of it, you don't want to agree that you made a mistake. Esther, is that fair? I am asking you, what is the benefit of that protest? What is the benefit that they had to hurry him into going into trial?
Barrister, everybody was talking about that.
Why are you not blaming me?
It resonated. Even at the U.S. Congress, when they were discussing the insecurity matter, they brought it up. In fact, that was the very day Nnamdi Kanu was sentenced to prison. That thing created awareness. The protest created awareness. That was the aim of the protest.
The awareness didn't bring anything. That's what I'm telling you. It was that protest that brought the stampede on his trial. You saw it now. It was when the shoulder was organizing that thing that the federal government started immediately that he tried in 6 days' time. No preparation, nothing.
Turn down the volume of your radio, please. Turn down the volume of your radio. Hello. Turn down the volume of your radio. I'll cut you off if you don't do that. Hello. Please turn down the volume of your radio when you call. Please.
Yeah. I'm out of it now.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. What is your name?
My name is Osando, calling from Ijebu.
All right, Osando, please go ahead.
So, my take is on this Nigeria issue, you understand? To me, I'm an Igbo man. I'm a pure Igbo man. To my own little knowledge, I know that we the Igbo have voted on any issue against on that state. You understand? Because if you take, what am I saying so? If you take Bangladesh 50 years to come and say that the coup of 1966, the government is not an Igbo coup. You understand? It's where I'm coming from. And again, if you look at the vote that make us to discover the agreement that in this country that I don't want to in this country. You understand? This is another point in time. So what I say is this, to me personally, this OB and Atiku or whatever I do, you understand? I was not able to leave Nigeria alone. That's one of the simple advice. In this Nigeria, if Nigeria wants to be good, let us not to be. Let us go our own separate way. That's our own point on this country. Because they don't want us in this country. They don't want us. They don't mean that they don't in this country. If we government themselves that they want to come to this country, okay, how is you sure they want to feed they like to feed the country? How is you sure they like to feed the country? That's my point. But if you really enter that place now, to go to forget that now for years, they don't put on our head that they don't destroy Nigeria. So how is this? Please don't take for about Nigeria matter. Thank you.
All right, thank you for calling. Okay. Hello. Good evening.
Yeah, this is Remy.
Yeah, Remy.
Calling
I
back.
hope you do not allow somebody to cut your call.
I hope so too.
Go ahead.
I'm an obedient, and I don't hide it. And on that premise, I usually disagree with Barrister Darlington.
Okay.
I think he's trying to, and not just him, most Nigerians are trying to gaslight the obedient. Likewise, Obi. How many are we in numbers? So maybe we have over 90 million voters. Okay, if the obedient choose not to vote, Obi, Nigerians together themselves and vote someone else now. So they have the numbers. So why placing the shoulder of this country on the obedient and Obi? So Obi should compromise. If Obi doesn't want to deputize anybody, that is his choice.
That's his choice.
He has one vote. So do I. So do you. So Darlington. So I once Obi do this. If Obi said this is what he wants, if I'm not okay with it, I'm going to buy a ticket myself to and contest. So we should stop gaslighting him. He should do this. He should do that. The same way you have reasons to support Atiku, I have the same reasons to support Obi. So making it seem as if I'm the one confusing Obi not to do the right thing. And tell Atiku to do the same thing too. Why must Obi be the one to deputize? Why do we always want the best to be the second fiddle? Why?
They are ascribing it to his tribe. They say because of
whatever. If by now, if the sufferings of this APC 10 or 12 years of being in power is not enough to teach anybody a lesson, that you are looking at Obi's ethnicity, then you deserve what is coming to you now. If Nigeria gets better now, am I the only one who enjoy the good of this country?
No.
When Obi was rigged out in 2023, people expected the obedient to go on the street and be protesting. So this country better now. Only me go enjoy them. I was one of those. I knew what I go through when I went through in the last election. I delivered my polling unit. I delivered my word. I was one of those who delivered my local government, local government. Those who knew this, they are hearing me right now. I know what I went through. Some of my colleagues were flogged. The only reason why I was not flogged was because most of those boys, I studied them. We grew up together. Some are like younger brothers to me. They come to disrupt the election. Obi kept telling us what he's going through under these people in power. What he's going through. And you're still telling Obi should do that and do that. Let us stop advising Obi. If you are not okay with what Obi is doing, you too go and buy ticket. He has one vote. So do I. So we shouldn't gaslight obedient or Obi. I beg. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much for calling, sir.
Yemi Oshibajo is a professor of law, renowned internationally. Is that not true? He deputized the Buhari.
He was selected to do that.
He deputized Buhari.
He was selected by President Tinubu.
Hold on, please. He had the opportunity of saying, I can't deputize this illiterate. But he worked with him. Did he spell anything in his name? Yemi Oshibajo's name is intact today. If anything should come to the Southwest again, everybody will be looking at Yemi Oshibajo because they tested him and they saw the inroad he made. At least with that infora he made with Buhari, everybody has seen his capacity, his capability.
All right. Hello. Good evening.
Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
What
is your name?
My name is Sandy. I'm calling from Mishi.
All right, Sunday, please go ahead.
Well done, my brother.
You see, it is not easy. God said this in the beginning that He regarded creating men and try to move with men. It is not easy. And you see, sharing our understanding, it is hardly everybody will agree with you. You see, what we are talking about that happened before non-decadal issue is a very clear issue. But not everybody will understand it will understand it. But it has happened, and it is clear for everybody's eyes. Now, what I want to say is this. You see, I keep on saying it. If Nigerians are looking just towards to bring our president down, just from bringing him down stage, we have not gotten a good party and a good government. Because if you bring him down, and you go continue from where you stop, are we better? We are not better yet. But if you are talking about having a good planned party with people who have another time and they focus for better Nigeria, then when they get there, they will know what they're there to do. The people promise many things before they get there, but today what happened? Nothing is happening. So what I want to say is this: if you Obi or Atiku, police is not even the problem. The problem is what did they have in ground before heading there? Because all this while, all I've been hearing is that I think it's complaining. People are attacking him and attacking Obi. I have not heard him saying a kind of plan that we have for Nigeria, assuming he is the one that assumed in that year. Okay, after that time coming to them, even if you want to hear from him, what we have as an example, because now, I think now, it is either him or Obi mountain. The way we are looking at it. But assuming he got the mountain, what will he do for Nigeria? I have not heard that from him.
Wait.
What I'm waiting to hear from this people. It's not only to complaining here and there. So in other hand, assuming Obi, when we talk about vice president in this country.
Hello?
Esther.
Sir, Barrister, let me take calls, please.
Promise will come during campaign.
Hello?
Campaign.
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. What's your name?
Okay, this is Emeka from Ogun State.
Emeka from Ogun State, welcome. Go ahead, Emeka.
Yeah, what I want to say is that, number one is that Obi is no longer a boy.
Exactly.
Before Obi joined the ADC or the
he crossed his
coalition of
T's and his I's.
they have already sit down and they discuss the matter. So let us leave Obi until we see the end. So what I want to say in other side concerning the kidnappers and the terrorists, I'm seeing it in this angle that this is a very business, big time business in the big time politicians. I mean, when you look at these guys that are doing all these things, you can see that just like all these guys that carry cattle, they're not the one. They're not the owner of those cattle. There's people that own those cattle. Now, do you know that when they kidnap all these guys, all these people they kidnap now, you look as if somebody container have entered. Now negotiation will begin in a big time. Now immediately they kidnap all this number of all these people. Now they negotiate. Are they not the politicians, big time politicians, into the business of this, a negotiation, and the next thing they will see push a lot of money of Nigeria, give it to them, and before it happen, they will send their boys, go and order another container in. And very soon you see a very nice coaster bus that we used to carry them to come to Aso Rock or wherever, we come them with air condition, and yet we say this is not a business. This is a very big time business. I mean, in the politicians. So, which even though Donald Trump comes here, there is nothing they can do about it because every information they give it to those boys where they will be and where they will not be. So let us not deceive ourselves. The big time politicians in in Nigeria knows what is happening. So they are behind all this business they are going on doing there. God bless us.
Thank you very much, Emeka, for calling. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Esther, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome.
I do the barrister as well.
All right. Welcome.
Yes, Gabriel, please.
Welcome, sir.
For me, I agree with Remy.
Okay.
Obi should not deputize anybody. He should go for the presidency.
Okay.
For the country, Nigeria, we need restructuring. If restructuring doesn't work out, then let us go our separate ways. That's just the only solution. Then for the kidnappers and the what they call Fulani herdsmen. To be frank with you, they just want to Islamize Nigeria. That's just what it's all about. They're coming down on full speed. If Trump doesn't do something about it, they will take over the whole of Nigeria, because the armed forces are not ready to do anything about this. The National Assembly are not ready to do anything about this. They know who they are. After all, the 400 names, why have they not capitalized on it? It's baffling. To be frank with you, it's very baffling. So that's it for me for now. For Barrister, let him take it easy. Let him just take it easy. For Kalu, for Nnamdi Kalu himself, yes, what Barrister said is the truth and nothing but the truth. So I made a great mistake, and we fell into that mistake. I agree with Barrister for that. So that's just basically what I want to say for myself for now. I will do let him go full speed.
All right.
Anything can happen.
Okay, thank you very much. The evening rush still continues. Right here, what we try to do most times, we try to make sure that while we're having conversations, okay, we try as much as possible to make sure that you have something beneficial in the package when we're bantering. So it's not just about everybody talking about government. No, there are always packages right here for you. We enlighten you on how you can make more income, how you can get yourself the right plug, how you can literally have fun in these very difficult times in Nigeria's polity. Ladies and gentlemen, I actually have quite the deal for you in the house. Good evening, how are you?
Yeah, good evening. I'm so excited to be in here.
Yes, I can see you're everly ready. I saw how you matched and I'm like, oh my God, guy has got deals. Please go ahead, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening. My name is Daniel, and I'm super excited to be here again today. I was here on Tuesday, and we actually gave an announcement, and the training for Wednesday, the people that were able to come was quite encouraging. Okay. And we're here to tell people that, you know what? With 2026 that started, like I said, and one of the things I encourage people to do this year is to learn a skill, right? And one of the simplest skill you can learn in tech is about AI.